Hi, everybody. All right, so evidently nobody told President Obama what led to the last recession in the first place, because he is essentially pushing banks to allow people with weaker credit to afford homes via loans, etc. This is one of the exact scenarios that he had to change when he came into office, folks, because this is what led us down into the recession, because they were buying over their heads and then they had to default. And that is part of the situation involving the last recession. And now Obama is pushing banks to allow people the loans to afford the houses. I'm not saying that people with weaker credit should not own houses. I understand they should. But they should definitely think smarter about it. And if you can't get a loan, well, then you can't get a loan. I mean, there's a time and a place where everything is good. Maybe homes aren't the best. I know a guy. He had an apartment until he was probably in his late 30s. Traveled a lot, did a lot of things, found a good spot where it was like about $850 a month for a 2-bedroom in Arizona. It had a pool, it had a gym, the whole works. It had a condo division. I forget which part he actually lived in, but it wasn't that bad. And he just stayed there, and it was his place for a long time. But now Obama's basically going back into the same situation that Bush basically allowed to allow the economy to go, and Clinton era didn't exactly help. I know that Obama actually in his heart probably really does want to help people out. Maybe not Americans, but people. This actually says that the Obama administration is engaged in a broad push to make more home loans available to people with weaker credit, and an effort to that officials say will help power the economy or the economic recovery, but that skeptics say could open the door to risky lending that caused the housing crash in the first place. That's exactly what I was leaning to, folks, right here. I'll show you. So basically, they're going straight down the path. Ladies and gentlemen, I can't make this stuff up. I am not making this up. I know you've heard me rant about this, rant about that. But in reality, this is actually true, folks. President Obama's economic advisors and outside experts say the nation's much celebrated housing rebound is leaving too many people behind. And now they have to kind of work with people with lesser credit records inside a weakened economy by the recession. And basically, this could allow, or force rather, another recession, or put the recession forward faster. And this basically came via the Federal Housing Administration to basically insure home loans against default. And what happened, ladies and gentlemen? What got us there in the first place? The Federal Housing Administration insured home loans against default and everything else, and then we went down the path. So I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this, but I'm just showing you this because this is literally what is happening, folks. I can't tell you anything different. These are good sources. Notice I'm not using European news or whatever it was that I was using there for a while. I'm using good sources that are actually starting to show good things, or at least what the other ones were showing before. And now that the stories are actually getting to a point where everybody now can put up what they want to show, CNBC, Forbes, and others are actually showing everything from politics to business now, because they see the advantage. And Obama basically pushes banks to allow people with weaker credit to afford homes, which led to at least part of the downfall anyways, because that's kind of what happened. Along with risky businesses, they the company's flipping the credit and flipping all the deeds and everything of the houses and everything else. So this is it, folks.